Yeah.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for coming back to Speaking in Code. We are broadcasting live from the EduCode event in 2026 here at the Orleans Casino. And it is my pleasure to introduce a very special guest with us. We are now sitting down with John Belcik, from the CEO of International Code Council. John, thank you for joining us. We appreciate you.
Thank you very much.
I think that one of the greatest things about this board is I think that everybody comes from such a diverse background. So maybe can you describe like your path to basically becoming the CEO of ICC?
Well, unlike many of my colleagues at ICC, I came up through the finance ranks. I'm actually a licensed CPA in the state of Illinois. I started out, I graduated with an accounting degree from DePaul University.
DePaul, all right. Yeah. Is it Blue Devils, right?
They're the Blue Demons.
Blue Demons, you're correct. Yes. Okay, awesome.
And so from there, I went up through the finance ranks. I was an auditor for Arthur Andersen for about 5-6 years, and then moved over to the private side. I went to work for another Chicago company, Wilson Sporting Goods.
Okay.
And I spent...
I love Wilson.
Yeah, it's a great firm, great brand.
Yeah.
And so I enjoyed my time there. I was there about 20 years.
Okay.
And again, worked myself up from the finance ranks and took on some more operational sorts of responsibilities with warehouses and factories. We had a lot of operations in the U.S. As well as overseas. And we sourced a lot of product from China and the Far East. So I had a lot of exposure not only with the sourcing and the operations, but also a lot of Far East travel, a lot of travel to Europe because our parent company was based out of Helsinki, Finland. So I've spent more time in Helsinki, Finland than I probably wanted to. But it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. From there, I left Wilson and went to work at Metropolitan Pier and Expedition Authority, which most people have no idea what that is in Illinois.
No.
But that is McCormick Place and Navy Pier. The largest tourist attraction in the Midwest is Navy Pier. And McCormick Place, which is a convention center. First, second, or third largest convention center, depending on how you measure it.
Right.
So like an account. It depends how you measure it.
Yeah, it depends how you measure things, right?
Exactly. So I worked there for about 3 years, learned a lot about public finance, about how to work with a board that was a challenging board. And I learned a lot about Illinois politics as well.
Okay.
And from there, I got the call from International Code Council and started at ICC in 2009. And,
all right.
And came in working for Dominic Sims, who I stayed with throughout my career there and reported to him. And over time, I came in as the CFO, worked my way through to in 2012, became the Chief Operating Officer and Chief Finance Officer. So it took on, again, expanded portfolio of responsibilities. And then when Dominic was retiring in 2024, at the end of 24, I decided to put my hat in the ring and interview for the CEO position, and I'm glad I did because I got it.
Yeah, here you are, right?
Here I am.
It's got to be a pretty challenging position, CEO.
It is. ICC is a very complicated organization. It has operations across the country and also broadening out around the world. And we have now about 750 employees, and it's a very diverse organization with a lot of different business operations. And we balance that, of course, with our not-for-profit mission, purpose, and providing members our services, all those sorts of things. So it's a great mix between some of the things I've done in my background, because we have both private side, we run a business, selling publications and doing a lot of delivery of services, but also acting in accordance with our mission and delivering on our mission, which is the most important thing we do.
Yeah, exactly. Well, how many countries is ICC in now?
We have our codes are adopted around the world, and as we say at ICC, we touch the lives of over 2 billion people every day.
2 billion?
2 billion.
That's amazing.
So we're in many countries. We have a strong presence in the Caribbean, particularly into some of Bangladesh. They use our codes. Middle East, so that's I don't know if it's Southeast Asia, but down in that. In and around India. Pakistan also adopts some of our codes. And so we have a lot of touch points down into South America as well. Mexico uses versions of our codes. So we have a fairly broad reach that people just don't really know about. We have some employees outside of the U.S. as well. We've actually hired a number of them in Canada right now. So we've got a number of folks working on various initiatives in Canada. And also we have employees in the Middle East and also in Australia. And I think that's about it.
So here's a weird question. I heard that in Australia the water goes the other way in the toilets. Did we make a code reference for that in the codes down in Australia?
I'm not sure, but I've been down that direction below the equator, and I did a few years ago.
Yeah.
And I was with Wilson actually, and I spent a little time flushing the toilet. And all that, but I didn't notice that it actually goes in reverse.
So it's one of those.
I'm not sure. It might be an urban legend.
What are the urban legends? All right. So now, like, what are the challenges that ICC faces on a national board with such a big organization and stuff like that? There's got to be some incredibly difficult challenges you guys are facing.
There's always a challenge. I think the things that we talk more and more frequently about now, and that we've done some things about, things like AI is always a very important topic now. We have some initiatives going on the product side that in our digital codes products, we're going to extend that out into some of our codification businesses, so citizens can search and interact with AI, and when they look at their code of ordinances for their local jurisdiction, and that's coming, and it's in the pipeline now. And also we are looking at what to do internally. AI not only has product implications, but also for process implications within the organization, and how do we apply AI in a thoughtful way, because it can be a great tool or it can be a somewhat dangerous thing at times.
Yeah.
And so we're being very careful about how we do it, how we deploy it. We've got a group of employees who formed our AI governance committee, so we've got some boundaries around how we're going to govern and control AI and how we use it across the organization. And so that's one of the really important things that we're really working on right now. Of course, international growth and continuing to grow the organization is critical for us, and so we continue to put some emphasis behind growing in in regions. We've really focused ourselves on the Middle East, Asia, and the Caribbean, the Americas, Canada, and the Caribbean, including the Caribbean and South America.
Okay. No, that's interesting. One question that just kind of popped into my mind. Is ICC working on maybe their own like AI platform that like maybe like all the codes would be dumped into, and then we as a code user would be able to ask it a question, or maybe put some pictures up and just kind of like find some references from that? Is that something that ICC is working on?
We've started working on a product where you can, in fact, ask questions and have AI answer your code questions, and it is. As I was just in a discussion the other day, our accuracy rate on our AI is about 85 to 90% accurate.
All right.
Whereas as we compare it to some of our competitors who also use AI and their answers using ChatGPT, because they just simply go to ChatGPT. And that's about a 30% accuracy rate. But we've trained our AI, our instance of AI that we deploy, is our own.
Okay.
And so we train it on our questions and our code opinions and other things that we've got, content that we have, so that we get a very high accuracy level on our answers.
That's amazing. That's awesome. So when we look at ICC as a whole, we most of us kind of understand what the local landscape is for ICC. But at the very beginning there's the international section, right? So what are some steps that ICC is taking to expand internationally?
We have had some success in helping jurisdictions or countries outside the U.S. prepare their own set of codes based upon our model codes, of course. But for countries like Bangladesh, which I mentioned a little while ago, Saudi Arabia, nation of Oman has just recently provided us the opportunity to prepare a set of codes for them. They're building codes. And so those are really where we've had a lot of success. In addition to that, we have more success or other successes on our product certification business, evaluation service. As many customers of product manufacturers are based outside the U.S., so we provide product certifications to a number of manufacturers that are based outside the U.S. And our accreditation service is actually about half of all the revenue that they generate comes from outside the U.S.
Wow, that's pretty amazing.
And so it really is. They're very well diversified, and they're, as I say, they're our most global operation within ICC.
That's amazing. So here we are at EduCode, the 29th EduCode. How many EduCodes have you attended, sir?
I have attended two.
Two Educodes.
This is my second one.
The second Educode.
Yes.
You were here last year,
I
correct?
was here last year, yes.
So what do you think of Educode?
Educode is very impressive. I had heard about it you can't not work at ICC and be aware of Educode.
Right.
As long as I've been at ICC, I've always heard it as sort of this mystical place that I really didn't know much about.
Right.
But as I've gotten here and really started to understand and see what the scale and scope of Educode, it is really an impressive operation that actually ICC and the Southern Nevada chapter work together to put on. And it's really is a great, I think it is ICC's our single most biggest event that we help to stage with in conjunction with the chapter.
Yeah.
And it is, I think you've got 2,500 I think attendees, both virtual and present this year.
Yep, I do believe we're around 2,500.
It's
Yes,
really
sir.
quite an accomplishment. So.
It is when you look around at this place. It's kind of takes you back a little bit because you just like we get to ask the CEO questions, and then but I can go and I can ask the building official from Los Angeles a question. I get to rub elbows with building inspectors in Maryland. It's a really great place for camaraderie and collaboration. And as long as I've been coming to Educode, it's been just everything that you said. It's just been just this amazing event that it's kind of more mystical than everything else, right?
It really is.
All right. So, John, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate your time. We know you're a very important person. Time is money, right, in the finance world?
It always is, yes.
But we have a couple questions we'd like to ask you. We want to learn about John the person, not John the CEO, if that's okay with you.
Sure.
All right. The first question we've been asking everybody is, what did you want to be when you grew up?
I grew up in the south side of Chicago.
Oh, I know where this is going.
In the mean streets, but no, I want to be a gangster. But I was always impressed by, as the local city sanitation trucks would come by with the street cleaners, and they had this great big machine that these guys would drive down the street, and everybody had to clear the parking on one side of the street. And I always wanted to be a street cleaner.
You want to be a street sweeper?
When I was a little kid, yeah.
All right, dude.
Sometimes it doesn't sound like a bad way to end your career either, but so maybe you never know.
Yeah, I know that there's always that I'm going to be a crossing guard when I retire. You just kind of take it easy.
That's right.
And maybe we'll see you on a street sweeper just plowing through Chicago, right?
Yep.
Yeah, awesome. The last question we ask, and we preface it by saying you can't say Educode, but what is the greatest live event that you've ever attended in your life?
You know what? Other than my wedding, I'll say it for my wife.
Okay.
But
good box to check.
There you go. I got that one, honey. But when I was at Wilson, I had the opportunity to attend a lot of really cool events. The one that really stays with me is I attended I forget what number it is, but it's the Super Bowl. It was in Jacksonville, Florida. And it was the Eagles and the Patriots. And and it was really just the ability to get down there and enjoy the whole event from front to back. Got there a few days early and went to the tailgate parties, and Wilson had put on at the NFL Experience, I think they called it at that time.
Yeah, they do.
We had a football factory, football in beautiful Ada, Ohio, and they took the factory down to the Experience, and so they made footballs while you were there, and
that's amazing.
So it was really a cool experience for everybody else to see. I'd been to the Ada factory, so I'd seen it before. But it's really a fun experience, and just the scope and scale of the Super Bowl was really a fantastic event.
That's awesome. That's pretty cool. I know that we just had the Super Bowl here a couple years back, and it was just going around all the events. Some people think if it's just the Super Bowl, but it's really all the other events that are around the Super Bowl that are pretty cool and exciting.
The grand scale of it is really something to see.
All right. Well, sir, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
And it's been a pleasure to speak to you. For Speaking in Code and my producer, Topher Barnes, I've been Nathan Ball. We'll see you next time.